The inevitable end. The end of a moment, of a concept, of a video, or of a life. The end is something that we're all drawn towards, and also something that we often hold at arm's length. These concepts, death, the end, the great fin, these are all such universal ideas that they could be examined in thousands of ways, and religions across the world have sought to do so. In fact, there are many that focus on these extremely heavily. But there are two that tend to focus on these much more than any other. I'm of course talking about Unus, Annus, and Doctor Who, respectively. Now, if these names don't ring any bells to you, that's fine. I'll cover them very briefly, because there could be whole videos dedicated to them, and they probably wouldn't even do them justice. These are not religions. That was actually a joke. Their fan bases can often be as excitable as churches, though. Unus Annus is Latin, meaning 1 year. Papa Markiplier and cranky Uncle Nestor founded the Unus Annus YouTube channel on November 13th of 2019 with the intention of uploading one video a day for an entire year, accompanied by a countdown timer. On November 13th of 2020, they completed their goal and ended their channel and their 1 year by deleting all of their videos and their channel along with it. Many may ask, why? Why put all that effort, pour all of your heart into a project for a full year, only to wipe it all away at the end? And I'm actually going to get back to that, and I want you to think about that hard while I tell you a little bit about Doctor Who. Now, if Unus Annus was a 1 year content sprint, Doctor Who is a 57-year content marathon, first airing on BBC TV in November 23rd of 1963. Doctor Who is a show that follows in the footsteps of a time-traveling alien titled the Doctor and his often human companions as they have various misadventures throughout time and space. Wild, right? While these two pieces of content may seem radically different from concept to execution, they actually pull a lot from the same theme, the end. Unus Annus was founded on the concept that it would end, memento mori. Doctor Who was not. Because the show has been around for so long, its creative team has shifted multiple times. Now this happens to TV shows and movies a lot. It doesn't always have a negative impact or any impact at all on the show. People remove and add crewmen, producers, writers, but very rarely, unless we're watching Lassie, do you change out your main character. In 1966, with his health getting worse and worse, William Hartnell, the actor who played the Doctor, stepped down. Now, to many, this would be the end. Nope. This is where Doctor Who takes on an aspect that both makes it truly unique and would allow it to continue to thrive for decades. An idea arose. Since the Doctor is an alien, instead of dying, why doesn't he change, metamorphosize, and renew himself? Enter Patrick Troughton and the Doctor's regeneration. Now this is when the theme of death and the end become recurring. Doctor Who continues for decades, and each time a production comes to an end, both the Doctor and the show would die, and they would swap actors and production staff, and the show would regenerate. But then it begs the question, what happens if you hire a bad writer? What happens if no one likes who will play the Doctor? These are all risks that the show takes into consideration, but you can't please everyone. Think about what happens when people reboot favorited franchises. People have really strong opinions over things that they love, but this is even harder in Doctor Who. But if you have a different actor play the same character, that character will be different. In fact, this is why the end is such a strong theme here. The instant that you're introduced to a new Doctor, you've barely gotten to say goodbye to the old one, and you're confronted with the knowledge that this new one, who you don't even know yet, will be gone someday. And this is sad, because you don't always want to say goodbye. And the actors don't always want to say goodbye either.
I don't want to go.
But this is where Unus Annus and Doctor Who take a turn from each other. Doctor Who is a massive enterprise. Merch, DVDs, Blu-rays, con events, and milking the show is easy. You have fans that spend generations, and each time you reboot the show, you can usher in a whole new generation of fans. Unus Annus, on the other hand, is over. See, while I can go back and I can visit the Doctor on their adventures, and I can watch through my favorite Doctor's arc from beginning to end over and over, I can't with Unus Annus. And I want to mention this about Unus Annus. While it is about death and the end, its actual concepts and ideas aren't crazy elaborate. They aren't mastermind ideas. In fact, their very first video, they made each other breakfast using sex toys. Extremely silly, extremely stupid. But it's about the themes that are sandwiched in between. So let's return to that question. Why would Mark and Ethan delete their channel? Why did they dump their passion and their effort into this project for a full year, only to wipe it all away at the end? It is simply this. We care about things more when they end. We care about things when they are limited. I wouldn't get so wrapped up in the Doctor's story if I thought it would go on forever. At this rate, it might. But I'm also less emotionally invested each time I come and return and watch the same thing. With Unus Annus, I can't return, even if I wanted to. That makes the experience and the memories, silly as they may be, that much more valuable, because they are all that's left. And this really is the lesson of the end. We don't know when it will happen. We don't know how long we have. We don't know how long we'll get to enjoy the time in front of us.
The clock, whether it's visible or not, is always ticking. Always.
And that's one of the great things about the Unus Annus videos. I can't show any of them to you here. I could. There are still people who have kept archives of them online, but that defeats the whole purpose of their channel. The channel is to understand that we have a limited time.
I firmly believe that the entirety of what something is cannot be truly appreciated until it ends. You don't look back on what it was. You don't look back on all the minutiae of the detail of how it came to be until it's already gone.
That time had to come to an end. The concept had to end. The time was over. And that's okay. Because the memories last. Because the end of a time, of a life, a concept, or a video doesn't have to be the end of you. We keep going. We keep changing. We keep evolving. Even if things end. And I think that's the great lesson of Unus Annus and Doctor Who, is that
we all change. When you think about it, we are all different people, all through our lives. And that's okay, that's good. You've got to keep moving so long as you remember all the people that you used to be.
I know there are a lot of nuances to both of these topics that I've not really covered today. I could have ranted for a long time about, themes from each of them, but honestly, there's no point in letting this go on too long. One of the things that Unus Annus taught me this year is that I don't have to let everything be a grandiose experience. Not everything has to be my magnum opus or a massive creation. Sometimes it can just be what I've made it. And I can move on from there. Because life continues. Even without me, even without this video, even without my concepts. Either way. I hope you've enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun making it. This is very different than anything that I've done on my channel before. I feel like the script really just kind of flowed for me. If you'd like to see more of this stuff, let me know, because I enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, and night. I hope you enjoy the time that you have. This has been. Goodbye.